Today, CPP Chairman Jose Maria Sison declared the National Democratic Front is ready to resume peace talks with the government to end the communist insurgency. And tonight we are joined on the line by Secretary Teresita Deles, the Presidential Advisor on the peace process. Good evening, ma'am, and welcome to NewsLife.
Good evening, Robert. Good evening to all our viewers.
Ma'am, are you happy with the declaration of the CPP-NPA to resume the peace talks?
Well, I'm happy by any indication. I'm happy with any indication that peace negotiations. But I'm afraid I will have to say that the plans are not that final yet. No, it is what has been happening is that we have had friends of the process shuttling between the two parties to help clarify and issues and to set the parameters by which talks may be resumed. There are still some matters that will need to be clarified. We are in government. We are hopeful, but what we would like is that to be able to resume peace talks that will go somewhere. So that is our concern. That we do not want to restart talks that very quickly will also get into an impasse. So that is what we are working on now to avoid the things that happened before, where talks would resume, but very soon after the talks there would be an impasse, mainly because of conditionalities that would be set by the other side.
Ma'am, Mr. Sison said that friends from both sides conducted back-channeling talks. Can this be confirmed?
Friends of the process, from the start, since the special track went into an impasse last year, February 2013, we had said that government remains open, but what we would like is to have time-bound and agenda-bound parameters for resuming talks, and we have not kept it a secret that there are friends of the process that have been helping, that have been trying to find a way for some common parameters to be established. And lately there has been good feedback on this, and we continue to push hard. We will continue to work hard to be able to also be able to move this table, which at this present time of the 5 tables that peace tables that government is attending to is the one that is that has been in suspended motions, you can say, for some time now.
Now, ma'am, could you give us an idea of what were some of the reasons why the talks were suspended before or called off?
When talks were resumed formally as early as February 2011, and at that time there was an agreement to accelerate the pace of the talks to be finished in 18 months. But even before the next meeting could be held, the NDF already suspended talks, saying that we did not fulfill a promise to release political prisoners. But there is where the problem lies. That there was no such commitment. The commitment was for confidence building. They said what they were saying was it was an obligation because they were members of that were covered by the GSIS or the Joint Agreement on Safety and Immunity Guarantees. But the reality was that when we did put this the verification procedure of the GSIS, we put it to a test that there was failure there, because the pictures that we expected to be there were in fact not there. So since that time, that has become a major issue. It had become a precondition that we release first. A special track was then started, which was on the proposal of Jose Maria Sison, which proposed a doable agenda. But unfortunately, in February 2013, the NDF withdrew their original document and put in place 3 documents that put all sorts of conditionalities, including suspending several very important government programs, and that is where talks were again. Any process was again suspended, and so this table has been in an impasse since February 2013.
Now, ma'am, with this new development of a possible resumption of the peace talks, now, will there be enough time for this to be completed by the end of the president's term?
I think we can. I think there's enough time to do something significant so that the next administration will have a peace situation that is much better than the one that we got. Whether we can come to a final peace agreement, certainly we will work on it. We think that is possible. But at any rate, we are certain that it is possible to put into place an agreement and mechanism that will ensure that that a completion of and implementation and making sure that the violence, but no longer violence, but more dialogue and partnership will be the mode of moving forward. I am quite certain that we can put something like that into place.
And finally, ma'am, what will be the next steps for this to actually come into play by next year?
Well, there are still, as I said, there are still matters to be clarified. The friends of the process are still helping out with this. I understand that the CPP and NDF is itself doing consultations among the group. The government is also undertaking preparations. The last thing we want is to start talks and then very quickly come to a standstill because certain parameters were not after all not taken in the same light. And we know that every agreement, the president has always said, we don't sign anything that we cannot implement. So we are also studying that, what is possibly going to be on the agenda. And we know this will include socio-economic reforms. It will include political and constitutional reforms. It will, of course, include reduction of violence and disposition of forces. So all of that, precisely because there is so limited time, we want to be able to have foresight on this and preparation. So that is what we are undertaking now.
Oh, on that note, thank you very much for joining us here tonight at NewsLive. That was Secretary Teresita Deles, the Presidential Advisor on the peace process. Good luck, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you very much and good evening.